floppy disks. They're amazing. Well, they're not that amazing, but I'll tell you now, if you've got some somewhere, you could be sitting on a fortune. Welcome to Billboard. One thing you never see these days are floppy disks, and it totally makes sense. I mean, it's even becoming rare to see CDs. In fact, you are more likely to find vinyl records on someone's shelf these days than CDs. And someone using a CD and a computer, even rarer. But nothing compares to how rare floppy disks are these days. Do a search on eBay or Gumtree and see for yourself how rare these things are. And there's even rarities within rarities, if that even makes sense. So let me explain with a really quick history lesson. And I promise I'm not going deep here, so please bear with me. In the very early days of portable storage, there was this revolutionary new data storage medium called floppy disks, and they were big and flat and floppy, and they were available in any colour as long as it was black. The first mainstream, and I use the term loosely, floppies were 8 inches across. These became popular in the burgeoning computer industry by the early 1970s. In the late 70s, however, technology leapt forward as it always does, and floppies shrunk to 5¼ inches. By the time disco was dead and the 80s rolled around, floppies had once again shrunk, this time to 3½ inches. And in case you were wondering why I'm using imperial measurements, nobody ever called them 20.3 centimeters, 13.3 centimeters, or 8.9 centimeter floppies. And I really want to end the history lesson here, because after that it was yada yada yada, iOmega zip disks, CDs, DVDs and USBs. So as you can imagine, the further back in time you go, the rarer the media. But there is a sweet spot. 8-inch floppies are clearly the rarest, and you'd be lucky to find one anywhere for sale. But equally, nobody has anything that uses the 8-inch floppies, so there isn't really a market. And while the 3½-inch floppies are the most practical and reasonably rare, there are still quite a few of them floating around at garage sales, Gumtree and eBay. Which brings me to the 5¼ inch floppy disks. There is currently a revival of all things retro, particularly in the tech world. And one of the coolest and most sought after computers out there is the Apple II. And the Apple II range of computers, such as the II, the II Plus, the IIe and the IIc, use the 5¼ inch floppy disks. And not just any 5¼ inch floppy disk, but the single-sided double density or the double-sided double density disks. Try saying that with a bag full of marbles. The later high-density 5¼ inch floppy disks do not work with the Apple IIs. I plan on doing another whole video on how much vintage tech can be extremely painful and annoying to use. What matters is that these floppy disks are as rare as hen's teeth, and there might just be a stack of them sitting in your uncle or grandma's basement. I've seen a box of 10 5¼ inch floppy disks sell for over $100. So find yourself a big old box of these and cha-ching! So there you have my one and only tip for possibly making a quick buck. The only other time was back when I suggested to my wife that we should buy some bitcoins, which were less than $100 each at the time. But that's another story. Go and check your grandmother's basement. Check your uncle's spare room. Look under the bed. Look in a box. Look in a closet. You could be sitting on a fortune. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. And we'd love you to subscribe. And by we, I mean me, because this is a one-man show. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Drop.